Let's go.
Hi, I'm Ann Labovitz. I'm an artist, public artist, uh, painter, printmaker, fellow human being, and citizen of the world. And I'm excited to be a part of the Belgrade Art Residency online, which is kind of a wonderful opportunity, which has happened because of COVID. So there's something special about being able to connect on this way with my colleagues from around the world. I'm very excited to collaborate and to dialogue about artworks and processes and practices. My work is largely in response to human beings, my fellow human beings, community, connections, dialogue, and it represents itself in a great many ways, sometimes really large physical expanses of work, and sometimes intimate things, but all really about humanity and connection.
Great. And this whole COVID experience, let's say, something that happened to all of us, how did it influence you and your work, your lifestyle, and your practice?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think for me, especially, it's a really, I'm an eternal optimist by choice. And so I feel like there's been a lot of things we can't do and constraints, but there's been a lot of possibility within the context of COVID. I think that starting in March of 2020, when I had COVID, I just sort of, that was 6 weeks of misery. And after that, I've really, worked really hard and sought opportunities and had exhibitions even during COVID. And for me, I think the online platform, although I have worked online with Skype and done interviews all over the world before Zoom was such a big thing, I feel like there's a lot of different opportunities that are international and borderless, and opportunities to connect with fellow artists and human beings. And I also think, working a lot has been great. If you have a meeting, it's not a disruption because you can just nip over to the chair, do it, and get back to work. So I think in that way, I've been able to work even more. Although I've always worked a lot, I'm even working more now. And I think, there's been a lot of family time, which has been quiet and nice. And I started walking, which is a different thing about pace, and listening to literature, which is another aspect of cognition and processing. And I think pace is probably one of the pace and cadence of the COVID lifestyle is so different from what we had known. I think that there's a lot to learn and to be gained there. And I feel like in my work, I've been able to really accelerate because of this extra time and because of the pace.
You had an opening yesterday. What was that all about? What was the theme?
Well, the theme was creative connections. It was based on, it's this beautiful art center with 20-foot ceilings. So it's a 50 by 40-foot space, so quite a lot bigger than my space. And I worked for 6 months as a mentor to 19 interns at this rural or sort of art center, which was wonderful. And that was actually what I think all of us, that creative connection through the whole winter for each of the interns and myself, was really a way of really creating together, dialoguing together, and becoming community. And I think it just was a thread that held us all together. And I was so inspired by the work and the experimentation that the young people did. So they had an exhibition last month, and which was wonderful and was multidisciplinary. We had musicians and poets and painters, and people did stained glass. And so that was sort of the source material, and in addition to responding to the specific space. So I actually created my first fully sculptural installation with 1,000, and I apologize, I don't know the meters, but 1,000 linear feet of painting on scrolls none of it was on the wall, so all completely sculptural. So that was really a big leap forward for me in a really exciting way in preparation for 3 museum exhibitions that I have coming up in the next few years. And it was just a wonderful opportunity to really stretch my vocabulary into the physicality of three-dimensional space. And, you know, going up on the scissor lift was really fun. We did that on Monday. So it was a great opportunity. And yesterday was really fun to be able to share it with some folks.
Great to hear that. Thank you, Anne.